Hey, hey, here I am again for story number 5. Oh, this one's a doozy. It's actually a couple of stories put together. First one, I actually wrote it down, is called I Remember the Stone, or I Said the F Word to a Nun. How did that happen? All right, well, let's start at the beginning. First off, I am not a scientist, and this is not a science class or a science channel, but get a good shot of that. Look at that. It actually opens up. I love this. There's the inner workings. This is a kidney. Um, I have kidney stones, but I didn't know I had kidney stones. In the beginning, I thought I had something else. So let's start at the beginning. I guess I was maybe in my second year of art school, and I got this really bad kind of pain, and it burned when I pee, and it was like, uh-oh, I got a dose. We don't worry so much about getting a dose anymore. Now we worry about a whole lot worse things. But I thought maybe I had a dose. I'd had a couple of girlfriends and it was like, okay, maybe. So anyway, I go to the doctor and I find this doctor that is a urologist, and I go into the doctor's office, and first off, you get what you pay for, and this was a nightmare. I go into this office, this little tiny office, and the nurse says, all right, Mr. Phillips, she says, first off, we need you to give us a little specimen and to take off all your clothes and to assume the position. Well, it's like she gives me this little tiny specimen cup like this. She says, we only need a ½ inch or so. Well, did anybody ever try to start to go to the bathroom and then you need to finish. So it's this examining room. There's nothing in it but a table and a couple of things. There's no sink. There's no toilet. Normally they send you to the bathroom. So it's like, okay. So it's like, well, the first thing I did was I basically I started to pee in this thing and I had to finish peeing. So I look around, there's nothing there, but there's this little medical waste can. So I just laid it out and peed in there the rest of the way. It was like I felt bad for the janitor, but it was like, come on. And so nude, there I am, assume the position. I said, lady, what the hell's the position? So she shows me. She says, get up on the table, get on your elbows. No, wait, I don't know if I can show you guys. This is not probably the best setup, but look, here's the position. Here, maybe can you see me here? Let's see. There we are. All right, look, down on my elbows. Are you getting this? Yeah, yeah. Down on my elbows, okay, with my butt up in the air. There we are. There we do it this way. Okay, my butt's up in the air. So anyway, I'm supposed to assume the position. I'm totally naked, right? Totally naked in the position. All of a sudden, the door starts to open, and I'm like, oh, hello, doctor. Well, it's not a doctor, it's another nurse. She says, oops, sorry, excuse me. Well, it's like, there I am, with my butt up in the air, and the old stink eye showing, It's like, oh my God. So that's how it starts. Then I go, the guy comes in, does an exam. He says, well, I'm going to have to examine your prostate. So he says, oh, you have prostatitis. I come home, look, what the hell is prostatitis? Anyway, I go back to this guy. He says, you're going to have to come back here once a month. And basically, his whole fist is up there massaging my prostate, and I'm paying this guy to massage my prostate once a month. He says, you don't have any problems, it's your prostate. So finally, I did that for 6 months or so and got tired of it and quit. All right, so let's fast forward to a few years, and I get this terrible pain again. At this time, I've got a gallery. There's this really sweet doctor's wife that volunteers in the gallery during the day, and I'm coming in there, and I must have been green. She said, what's the matter? I said, oh, I don't know. I've got this terrible pain, and it's like, it's urinary tract or whatever. She says, well, my husband is like a pretty good doctor, and, he's a urologist at Hopkins. She said, can I get you in there? I was like, oh, thank you. So I go in there, and first off, this guy is just like, he's real pretty, real kind of like a Kennedy, kind of longish silver hair, And anyway, he does this exam, and he says, there's absolutely nothing the matter with your prostate. It is your kidney stones. He says, you're in the process of passing a kidney stone. So it's like all that time, I'm going back there, and this guy is basically, and I'm paying him, and there's nothing the matter with my prostate. So anyway, kidney stones. So look here. Again, we looked at the kidney model. So I did a photograph that was basically all about kidney stones. Here's the one, and it's basically got a little vial of urine and the model, and that's where the kidneys kind of fall on the back, and that's where the back pain fell, let me tell you. But here's a special one I made for him. It's only one copy in existence. I made this just on my computer to show you. It's called I Remember the Stone. And it's basically an image. The model is on this, and she has it on in the position that I was in. And I've put like a wooden kind of table, and there's a whole series, I don't know if we can get closer, a whole series of stones on her back. So I made that as a unique print for him because he was such a great guy. I also used to love to give this guy crap. He would always go to openings and whatnot because he loved art and his wife loved art. And I would come up to him and I would wait till he was with somebody that was just like, I could tell would be like embarrassed, and he'd be embarrassed. And I'd go up and I'd put my arm around him and I'd say, you see this man, my doctor? He's the only ever man that's touched my penis. And oh Lord, he would get so embarrassed. And I do it to him all the time. Finally, I stopped saying it was my doctor, and I just say he's the only man that's ever touched my penis. he laughed for a while, but I think after a while it got old. So anyway, you know, I having a terrible, terrible episode. And, you know, I go to him, he does the exam, he does this IV pyelogram, all this kind of stuff. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So he says, look, I'm going to have to remove it surgically. You can't pass it. He said, you've got to go home and get the stuff that you need, and we're going to have to check you in the hospital. So anyway, I was by myself. I said to my wife, I don't want you coming. I'm going to take care of this. It's going to be fine, you know. So I basically go down the parking lot, and I'm in the parking lot, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, what is that? And I get this terrible pain. I make it in as far as Johns Hopkins lobby to the men's room. And I'm in the men's room, and I'm there, and I'm at the urinal, and I'm like, oh, and it hurts so bad that when I passed it, I hit my head. I was at the urinal. I hit my head. It hurt so bad on the wall and fell back. And there I am, my pants down. There's all this blood in the actual urinal, and I've got my what does my son call it? My Wankston U's in my hand, and somebody comes in, and I'm there, like passed out, bloody urinal. Well, they called security. So security comes in. I'm like, wait, I have to find it. He was like, you've got to find it. You've got to save a copy of it. I got to see it. I got to analyze it. Well, it turns out that I get in the urinal, I get this thing out. It's like a little olive pit, you know. But I did get it to him, and it did turn out to be calcium. So for a while there, I was like, no Haagen-Dazs, no cheese. But you know what? I kind of forgot about it. It's been a while since I passed another one, and now I'm back to the Haagen-Dazs. One of these days, I'm afraid it's going to happen to me again. So where do we get to the nun and what I said to the nun? Well, the nun was an earlier episode when I had the terrible, terrible pain. And I had to my mother, I said, look, you know, I've passed them twice in my life. The first one was bad. And I said to mother, I have this terrible pain. I think it's my appendix. You got to help me. You got to take it. She says, let's go to the doctor's office. So we go to the doctor's office, and I'm there writhing on the floor, you know, and the doctor's like, well, hey, you need to take him to the emergency room. This is an episode. He's got something going on. So we get to the emergency room, and I am absolutely, you know, uncontrollable. And it's a very Catholic hospital, holy something or other. Anyway, this is when the nuns all had white habits, and they had white nurse habits and the big starched white stuff. And there I am laying on the gurney, and I'm having a hell of a time, and she can't find the vein. She can't find the vein. And she says, you know, this would be a lot easier if you weren't so overweight. It's like, oh my God. And finally, I'm trying to get her to find the vein. Oh, please. Finally, I said, sister. I said, please, find the effing vein. And let me tell you something. I don't think my mother ever forgot it. And finally, she did find the vein, and I got the morphine. And let's just hope that that doesn't happen again. So there you are. That one was especially for Dr. M. There it is. I remember the stone. And boy, I remember the stone. And if you guys ever pass a kidney stone, you will remember the stone. And be careful not to say the F word to a nun. I think it might be bad karma. Okay, see you next time.